Okay, beautiful thrivers, let's have a crazy, amazing conversation about the psychic virus that is narcissism and how this has infected humanity and our way out of this psychic virus. So I'm going to go all quantum and I'm going to go all spiritual with you because this is on my spirit and I really want to share it. Narcissism, what is it? Narcissism is deep unconsciousness. Narcissism is life from the outside in. Narcissism is not understanding the connection to source, creation, life force, all that is. Narcissism says there is no higher force or my higher power or my superconscious. It's actually me. It's actually my ego. It's actually the small self that is in control. In essence, I am God. Not I am God in co-creative consciousness. My personality, my mind is God. So that's the ego, the hubris self, which is drastically insecure because it's in separation consciousness. It's separated from all that is and that higher power, which is the field, which means that you belong, which means that you are supported, which means that you have the biofeedback of understanding I'm the generative source of my experience, and therefore everything that's showing up in my experience is reflecting back to me how whole and how aligned I am on the inside. That's consciousness. That's awakening. That is the realization that you are made in the image and the likeness of the divine mind, that ye are creator. Now, narcissism is anything but that. It's separation consciousness. So what is the psychic virus of narcissism? What it is lack of accountability, lack of responsibility, saying there's nothing wrong with me, this is not my stuff, I'm not creating anything, and life is happening to me and not through me. So the psychic virus of narcissism is that I am not a generative source of my own experience. I'm a perpetual victim that blames the outside experience as my experience. So in real life, human terms, what does that mean? It's everybody else's fault. I am not going to look at myself. I'm not going to self-reflect. I'm not going to do any inner work. I am going to force and control outside of myself in order to try and shove it into shape so that it pleases me. And narcissism is, of course, always coming up empty. It doesn't matter what I force, it doesn't matter what I change, it doesn't matter what I do. I always feel like I'm not whole on the inside, and I'm having an experience like taping sandwiches to my jumper, my sweater, and trying to feel like I've had lunch, which I never will. So this is why narcissists are insatiable. This is why no matter what they do and what they get, they never actually feel like they're satiated or they're whole. It's a bottomless pit. And now we have to understand that the psychic virus of narcissism unconsciousness, that I am not the generative source of my own experience. When you've been narcissistically abused, it's an infection, and you can actually get infected by the virus as well. And when we're triggered into trauma and we're in beta brainwave, we go into the amygdala and survival programs, which means that we go very prehistoric. And we look to the outside in regard to who we're being on the inside. Now, for us codependent empath types who are good people and we have a conscience, we can fall into the trap of the psychic virus of unconsciousness, and we can say that this all happened to me, not through me. I'm a victim, and unless the outside changes, or I get accountability, or I get justice, I can't change who I am on the inside. And we're handing our power away. And when we're handing our power away in this psychic virus, what happens is that we break it down and we break apart. And it may come up for you. You may think, well, that's not happening to narcissists. They get all the goodies. They keep going on and on and on. But it's actually not true. They're breaking down and they're breaking apart because they have to create a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie, and they're actually smashing their own integrity and wholeness into pieces. So they're not winning either, I can assure you. And then, of course, it just keeps spreading the virus, which is the virus of humanity, which is unconsciousness. Now, there's a really good book called Wetiko, Wetiko, and I really recommend that everybody reads it, because it's a book that everybody should read. It explains this in even greater detail than what I've given you. So how do we rectify the psychic virus of narcissism? It's by taking our power back and living life from the inside out, and understanding that we have an inner universe and an incredibly powerful somatic emotional limbic self, where we have belief systems and we're either whole on the inside or we have traumas on the inside. And this is not about blaming ourselves or saying, well, I deserve to be abused or whatever. None of us asked for our wounding from the collective, from our childhood, from our past lives, from the genetic material that was handed down through our genetic bloodline of limiting belief systems and traumas. None of us asked for the traumas of the human experience. That's just what's been going on this planet. And hurt people have hurt people. And people in survival have done the most disgusting, atrocious things to try to survive. That's been planet Earth and the human experience. But what's happened is the infection of this has caused people to go into survival programs in their amygdala and look to the outside and then try to force things and people to change in order to get themselves, and it's ended up a rip-roaring mess. So, one person at a time, because you and your inner being is the center of your universe that you're creating. So it is on us. So what happens when we've been abused by unconscious people and really damaged? What happens is we've got traumas inside us which are relating exactly to that. It doesn't mean that we're bad people. It just means that the people I trust abuse me, that kind of belief. Or the people I love leave me, or the people I love abandon me, or the people I love annihilate me or invalidate me or make me feel invisible or whatever it is. And those wounds have hurt. They've infected the inside of us, and they've created an inner identity, powerful creator that we are, that then we end up co-creating more of that. The people that we carry heavy emotional energy on, emotion, energy in motion, is our inner being. That's our karma, good or bad. We either have spacious, expansive feelings of peace and love, which is powerful, which co-generates more of that, or we have fear and pain and fractures, which are also powerful, co-creates more of that. So we break the spell of Wetiko, of unconsciousness, by saying, I am the generative source of my own experience. I can turn inside. I can work with quantum tools. I can change my life beyond description by understanding how I'm creating and create myself anew to recreate another trajectory such as the one that I do want to live on. That's how we take back our power. That's how we release our victimhood. That's how we rise above. That's how we shed our abuse symptoms. And that's how we start generating healthy, wholesome relationships in the future. So that's how we unleash and unlock our true, wholesome, loving, healthy potential. I hope that this really makes sense. As I said, this was on my spirit, guys, and I really wanted to share it with you and really get you thinking about the deeper quantum truth that's going on here. And you know, you're in a spiritual war, good versus evil, but we think the evil's out there, but it's actually the darkness and the trauma that we're hanging on to that is really what we're overcoming. All right, lots of love. Bye-bye.